In Surrey today, in a crowded senior centre, citizens of Newton came together to rally in defense of their neighbourhood and to honour recent murder victim Serena Vermeersch with a moment of silence. Several speakers highlighted the failures of multiple levels of government in policing Newton streets and keeping dangerous offenders behind bars. Due to the area having an unusual concentration of social services, including a homeless shelter in a part of the city that doesn't have a homelessness problem, halfway houses for offenders transitioning back to society, a probation office, and a recovery home for addicts, residents report being afraid to go out at night, as well as alleging that the City of Surrey disregarded its own location guidelines for establishing social services within 600 meters of an elementary school. Despite the rally being well publicized, no elected Surrey politicians attended.
This is a statement from Serena Vermeersch's mom. We are aware that many of you present here today did not know Serena. However, we are sure that everyone here can agree that what happened to her was unacceptable. Unfortunately, we as her family are still devastated by this loss, and we are not yet capable of attending events such as this to contribute our voice. Therefore, all we can offer is a few words. We are grateful for all that our neighbors and our community at large have done in the wake of her passing. We are aware that this tragedy has spurred into motion a movement to take back our city and to make the streets safe once more for its residents. It will not bring her back, but it would be heartening to know that another family will not be mourning the loss of a daughter and sister taken too soon. Thank you.
We point fingers and lay blame, but it's too late for Serena and her family. An innocent life has been taken from us in the most unthinkable way. We need to make changes and do everything in our power to protect our children and our community. There is no room for this violent crimes to happen in our cities. How many more people have to suffer before our government makes changes to the law? Please act now. I'm calling on the government to strengthen and change the laws and put preventative measures in place now, right now, to protect all of our citizens from violent crime. We should not fear being randomly attacked in our communities. Please make it safe to walk our streets.
It's about family, it's about safety, and it's about security.
There are virtually no homeless in Newton. Why would we put a shelter there? Why would we draw them to Newton, to a community that already had enough issues? You know, when we did the research, I learned a lot about my community. I learned that it was already a home to a high concentration of low-income families. And families that were working really hard together to raise healthy families. I was very proud of that community. But why would you lumber it with more challenges? Anyway, we were ignored and the homeless shelter was located in our neighborhood. So after that, time passes, and then you find out that, wow, you know, they're not paying attention to locational guidelines. That's something that you shouldn't have a drug and alcohol recovery facility within 600 meters of their elementary school. We already had a couple of those, plus now we had a homeless shelter in close proximity to our elementary school. So when you look at Newton, we have a high the demographics have started to change, of course, because we bring in a population that's predominantly male. They have drug addiction problems. When we were doing a petition about the homeless shelter, I learned from community members that they were happy there until about a year and a half prior to when we did the petition. When I went home and looked at the history of Newton, I realized that's when they put the provincial probation office in our neighborhood. So we had the probation office, the homeless shelter, drug and alcohol recovery, the clubhouse for mentally ill, and recovery exchange.
Justice Minister McKay and Attorney General Anton, please stop the revolving door of justice. How often have you heard this one? Prolific offender released from custody by BC Corrections. Warning, high risk to offend. They are out of jail and into our communities to re-offend.
Shame on the government.
Ladies and gentlemen, before you leave, I want to tell you something. I'm a block watch captain. I had to pay $25 for this sign from the City of Surrey. It should be free.
Yes.